I heard someone talk shit on Spinoza, and I haven't studied Spinoza too much, but I know enough about him to comment that Spinoza was talking about the ideal human. Obviously, most people are stuck in a survival mentality. That's exactly what PTSD is when everyone is like traumatized by shit. Because when you come into this world, you're fucking screaming and crying. That's traumatic. What baby doesn't come into the fucking world screaming and crying? You know, so everyone has fucking trauma. You know what I mean? So people have trauma and fucking pain, and that trauma and pain is what binds them into animal consciousness. Animal consciousness is survival consciousness. You know, if you're using your intelligence for survival only, then you're not using your higher faculty, your higher minded self. So Spinoza wasn't saying that fucking every human was using their higher minded self. He was saying that that is the ideal of the human. Most people are stuck in a survival mentality, and they can't get beyond because they're stuck. They're controlled by their animal desires instead of taking control of yourself as a person and reining in your animal desires. When you rein in your animal desires and you transmute those things into their higher manifestations, that's literally what chakra is talking about, from the base of the spine all the way up to the motherfucking crown chakra through the pineal gland. And that is when the pineal gland houses the soul and spirit of the brain, and the spirit is a part of the brain. So what causes you to hallucinate is what really allows you to see more parts of reality, because reality itself is a hallucination. Now, so when you do these things, you literally take animal consciousness and refine it to a higher manifestation. And if you do that enough, you contact the divinity within oneself. You become like the gods, or as God, because you cultivate the God within, which is what Jesus Christ was trying to teach 2,000 years ago. So to be Christ-like is to literally manifest your higher potential. A lot of stuff about Jesus is misunderstood. Jesus was actually telling people to cultivate the inner God within themselves. And I like to tell people to take their fucking insanity, their trauma, their negative pain, and everything that binds them to the fucking animal world, into the material world of slavery and bondage, and I'm telling them to manifest it into its highest manifestation. It's where you see your future self, because you become one with the Father, and the Father is with the Son, and the Son is with the Father. And because your genetics can either degrade or upgrade. And you can turn on your genetics at any time. And by turning on your genetics, you maximize more of your genetic potential. And doing that enough makes you literally fucking godlike, because the things you're able to do, which is very interesting. So it's very interesting. I'm a very proud and confident personality. People feel intimidated by my energy. It's really strange. I don't really try to intimidate people, but sometimes I do if I need to. But I'm talking about just like people are intimidated by my aura, dude. I once had a girl tell me that she could see my aura. She could see I was glowing. And I do feel like I'm glowing because I've reversed the aging process. When you turn on your fucking genes, that's when you reverse the aging process. The more genes you turn on, you either use it or you fucking lose it. It's like a muscle. If you don't use your muscles, they waste away. If you don't use your brain, it wastes away. If you don't use your genes, then you degrade until you die. Aging is a myth. People probably used to live thousands of fucking years or something. I believe it because they lived more godlike lives. They lived lives that were closer to the saints. The saints can't measure up to the ancient people of back then, because they lived, cleanliness is godliness, and godliness is perfection, and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And they had certain principles, and they lived a life of experience and wisdom, which activated certain genes that are now turned off in regular people. So they were of a different sort of people back then, a different sort, and that history has been wiped out.